Hello, good people. Spot of Nerd here with a brand new episode that I am extremely excited to talk about because it's very rare today to come across something that is absolutely amazing on television or movie, whatever you want to call it. And you know, when you finally find that one show or that one movie, you just want to scream it with the top of your lungs to make sure that everybody else is watching it, because if you are not watching Landman, that is currently streaming on Paramount Plus, you are missing out on epic level television. I'm talking, we're putting this show up to the status of Breaking Bad, of, to me, The Expanse, which was one of the greatest sci-fi television shows ever created. This is a show that I pray to God goes on for many, many seasons in the future, and it is absolutely, it's drama, it's comedy, it's everything in between. And I'll give you my quick review slash why you should be watching it here in just a moment. But trust me, Billy Bob Thornton, if you're a fan of his, if you're not a fan of his, this guy deserves the, I think it's an Emmy or whatever, but like the Oscar of television, if that's what you want to call it, because from the story to the realism to the gritty, the dark, like I said, the humor side of it, Landman is absolutely, hands down, to this day, I'm not even joking you, 2025, probably top 5 greatest television shows I've ever seen in my entire life, verbatim. So yeah, the entire basis of Landman is, it's actually quite a unique title if you think about it, Landman. So you have Billy Bob Thornton, and of course you have the rest of the cast. Now, if you know this channel, you know me, I don't know other people's names. Go ahead, look them up, but you'll just know them as like Billy Bob's daughter, Billy Bob's ex-wife slash current wife, Billy Bob's son, the people he works with, his boss, you'll get it, blah blah blah. But regardless of any of that, I really just want you to focus on the fact of just how incredible this show is, because it's not afraid, and I think this is the biggest piece that I'll tell you, it's not afraid to get real, and it's not afraid to give you truth and facts. Yes, it's about the oil industry. It's about the fact that in Texas right now, there is more oil deposits, there's more billions and probably trillions of dollars just in oil in Texas alone than probably in many other places around the world. So it tells the story of Billy Bob being this landman. He's kind of the mediator between like the cartels, between the billion-dollar owners of these companies like Shell and Chevron and blah 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 blah. But in the midst of it, he obviously has his family, he has his daughter, he has his ex-wife, who of course he remarries or gets back together with. It's a unique story. I recommend you check it out. But it's just, I think one of the biggest reasons I really enjoy this show is, like I said, it gets real in relation to the truth and the fact behind everyday life that we have right now. Something is whatever you're touching, whatever you're driving, whatever you're eating, likely has been made through oil, has been made through, non-eco things. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I want to be very clear about that. I'm not saying that eco-friendly, like electric vehicles, windmills, etc., I'm not saying those are bad things, but what I am saying is we are a very, very long way from replacing our current mode of energy with those such things, like living in a Star Trek world or whatever you want to call it. But what I am getting at is, obviously today, whether you look at the media, whether you look at the socials, whether you talk to everybody, blah, 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 oil is the devil. When in fact, what the reality is oil is what is driving your own life. Everything you eat, now I've said this before in a previous, you're not actually eating oil. I'm simply saying the packaging that your food comes in, the cars that you drive, the metal, the framework that was put together that made that car, everything came from oil. This isn't rocket science in relation to how this shit is made. And if you need to learn how it's made, I encourage you to go look it up, because holy shit, This whole, I'm one of those people, the whole climate change debacle. Yeah, I really am one of those that, quite frankly, without getting, I gotta be careful when I ride that edge, not the biggest fan. And pretty sure you can guess which side I'm on in that regard. But ultimately, the best metaphor I heard the other day, just to give you kind of my gist on it, I guess this will hopefully help you understand where I come in on the climate change aspect. An 8-cent tax on a plastic bag here in Washington State is not doing anything for the climate. It's not doing jack fucking shit, because just in Washington alone, the governor just got replaced by some other guy. He left a $10 billion deficit. So pretty sure your little 8-cent bag tax ain't doing fucking nothing. So I could go on, I could go on many different paths, and I already have with this. But getting back to the show, what this show does is it tells you the reality of everything that this oil industry involves. Yes, there are billions upon billions of dollars. Yes, there are billionaires that run these companies. There are also crews that perform the work that's needed to make sure that you have lights in your home, that you have everything you need when you go to Target, when you go to Starbucks, when you go to Costco. It's telling this beautiful story of these families that make you and I's life possible through means that are extremely dangerous, that require, 12 to 24 hour days. And at the end of it, sometimes you have to deal with the bad guys. And those bad guys could be the cartels, the drugs, everything in between. You have to work with them together. You have to do all this. Sometimes you have to do illegal things. You have to look the other way. It's a crazy story, and it keeps you on your feet. It puts the lighthearted moments exactly where the lighthearted moments need to be. It's hilarious.
She fucked me.
You have two choices. You can sleep on your stomach and suck on that pillow like a fucking inmate, or you can wear a mask like Maverick and Top Gun. I'm not listening to that shit for the next 30 years.
What was I snoring?
Does a two-headed whore win the dick-sucking contest?
I mean, again, some of these lines that Billy Bob has, some of the lines that his ex-wife has, that his daughter has, it's just hilarious. It's a feel-good reality check, drama, thriller, bibbidi-bobbidi-boop, that if you're not watching the show, you are really, truly missing out, especially with some horrible shit like Squid Game 2, Season 2 that's out right now. There's some other stuff. Even I'm currently trying to watch The Jackal on Peacock, which is okay, but Landman is it. So please tell me you are going to go watch it in the comments. I'm going to leave it with that. I'm going to keep this nice and short just for you all. If you haven't already, I would love you guys so much. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button right down below. Give me the thumbs up. Even if you hate this, just otherwise, huge thanks for watching, listening on the podcast. We will catch you guys in the next episode. Laters, y'all. Minor spoiler, there's not really much to spoil in this show. It's really just kind of its own thing, and sure, it's, you will have cliffhangers every once in a while after each episode, but the humor, as mentioned before, Billy Bob has a very unique sense of humor, a very unique way of portraying characters. And of course, everybody's from Texas, so they have an accent and things like that. There's one scene where he's just had a really bad day. The cartels are on his ass, his boss is on his ass, okay, without spoiling too much, let's just say that his son ends up with a girl who lost somebody, who a month later ends up with his son. It's kind of weird and cringy. I don't want to go into it too much, but if you're moving on after somebody dies within a month, there's just something wrong with you. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad, but just if you're moving on with falling in love after a month of your partner dying, kind of messed up. But anyway, regardless of that, Billy Bob is talking about his daughter's in trouble, and he's telling her about when he was a kid and how badly he wanted a monkey, like a chimpanzee. And he's like, oh, I was gonna dress it up and have it do chores for me, but then I found out the reality is the motherfuckers shit on you, and they fucking shit, and they throw their shit on you, and they're fucking the strength of 10 men, they can beat your ass, and blah blah blah. I do absolutely no justice for it whatsoever, but it is absolutely hilarious, and I encourage you seriously to go check it out, because I promise you, once you start the show, you will not stop until it's over. They do end it, of course, with a semi cliffhanger, and what I mean by that is, could they end the show? Sure. I pray to God they don't, and I really do hope they continue on with the series, but it's just amazing, and I can't say it enough. I know I'm a broken record, that's just what this channel does here at Spot of Nerd, but trust me, please go and see it, because you will not be disappointed with Landman. I promise.